And what I like about Herbert most of all is the way he has continued hands-on in the oil business. He didn't take a buck and get out like the Rockefellers did. Herbert has a 4-generation company with the grandchildren coming into it now. And with Herbert, there at 8 in the morning, welcoming the grandchildren, 4th generation, to his company. And if I may, here's Herbert.
Well, I'm deeply honored to receive this award. Frankly, I've always found that the oil business is a team sport. What I mean by that is I've been very fortunate to be involved in the discovery and development of both large domestic and international fields. But I found it was better to be in the game with people that were a hell of a lot smarter than I was. And so I'm accepting this award on behalf of all these people that I've had the honor to work with through the years. Now, for me being in the oil business, it was easy. Marlan mentioned my dad. Well, I was born in 1929 in El Dorado, Arkansas, and Dad had gotten in the business in 1922. Of course, he always said I brought the Depression to the hunt house. And since Herbert Hoover was coming into office, why, he named me Herbert. And Marlan mentioned driving around the East Texas field. Dad's idea of babysitting was to put you in the back end of the car, and this was before they were air conditioned, and drive around the oil field all day from well to well. And he smoked cigars, and when he wanted to get rid of the ash, he'd hold it out the window, and we'd have to duck in the back of the car, coming in on your eyes. But in all seriousness, the oil business to me is the greatest game in town. I love it just like y'all do. And boy, I'm glad to talk to people that think fossil energy is good. I'm so tired of being called a greedy old oil man. And so let's get out there and get the message and get this baby going. Thank you very much, and I appreciate receiving this award for all the people that I've had the opportunity to work with and learn from. Thank you very much.
I'm not sure what you want to do. Oh, wait. Your many contributions to the industry. We would like to present both of you with honorary life membership in the Petroleum History Institute.
Thank you, Bill.
And welcome to the group.
Yeah. All right. Bill, I didn't get to mention it, but I guess if you live long enough, you become historical. When I told my wife what we were talking about, coming down here, and I was going to get this award, she's a big antique collector. She said, "Thank God you're not an antique."
29 of 2011, 90 years old. I guess if I've learned anything, and some might challenge what I have, of emceeing a lot of things, the more illustrious and renowned the person is, the less need for describing them when you're talking about an award or something. But Gerry Friedman was one of the great ones out there in the enterprise that I've known over my teen years. He was a guy, I think he had 116 students that he chaired their committee of. I think 60 of them were PhD students. He had, I think, 16 postdoctoral folks that served under his tutelage. I never took the class from Gerry, although I've been associated with him in various enterprises over the year, in APG and the Drakewell Foundation and PHI. But he was one of the giants, at least in my view, of sedimentary geology over the time span in which I know it. And he was a great one out there. Somewhere, I never counted them, but somewhere between 500 and 600 publications, 19 books published, students all over the world that he had mentored. And Gerry was a very devout Jew, and did a lot of things with B'nai B'rith and contributing to Jewish groups. And there, he was called the father of petroleum geology for a field discovered over there that I simply don't know the exact things about it. He was crowned by the Queen of England that got a degree from the London Geological Group. He got the 3rd degree that was ever as a postgraduate degree from the University of Heidelberg. The 3rd degree that had been given in 300 years for an honorary doctorate. He's a great guy in science. And my old friend George DeVries Klein, that I've known for many years, and I was served on committees with Gerry in various enterprises, you know, many field trips with him. And George DeVries Klein, I can't remember the exact date or when it occurred, or perhaps not even what I said on that occasion. But I was talking to the crowd about the thing that I thought was most memorable to me about Gerry Friedman. And that had to do with his academic achievements that were all well known. But in Yiddish, there's a term called a mensch that in the short term means a man, but it has a more meaningful thing than that. It means a man, a real man, that looks after people that come after him. And Gerry Friedman always did that. His past students, if they hit on hard times, would come to him and he would help them to go on with their own careers. So, and George Klein always calls my attention to that talk that I referred to Gerry as a real mensch. And that's what he was. You won't ever see anything about that in the published things about the things that he did in science. But Friedman was what I consider a real mensch. So, next year, he was the first editor of our journal out there. And we're going to put together an award for the Gerald M. Friedman Memorial Award for the best paper given at our presentations here. So I wanted to invite you of that. And we've lost a great one out there. Nobody gets out alive, but that's the way it works. Thank you.